All right, and we are back right here on Chris Akin Presents with Erik Ferentinos. And dude, I do love me some coffee. I know it sounds like it's just a bullshit read, but I love me some coffee. So,
bro,
there you go. Look at you. You
I
love
press my own shit.
Is that Piercy brand?
I'm saving the Piercy brand. I did, which we showed on the last episode.
Yeah.
He did give me a choice of Stephen Piercy coffees, which I did snag one, but I am saving that. This is just some 8 o'clock coffee. Are you familiar with them?
I'm not from 8 o'clock coffee. No.
Yeah, on the East Coast, 8 o'clock coffee's been around forever. That was always my family's jam back in New Jersey, where we're from.
Okay.
They always had the 8 o'clock coffee, but they actually call this coffee Morning Riser. They named it after my penis, which is a little known fact. But I love coffee too. Go on, sir.
No, I was just gonna say I drink the shit out of every different kind of coffee, man. I try them all. So,
you know what I wanted to show you too? This is probably one of my favorite gifts that I get every year is from my sister, my little sister's family. They give me the calendars, the big.
Look at that.
The big calendars. They personalized this one for us, and it says "Merry Christmas, Uncle." But it's cool. They put that's my. You can see my place. That's my. Oops, let me do that.
There you are.
That's my living room.
Look at you.
See how badass that is.
Look at you.
Got Charlie Cat there. Do you see? You guys see this hors d'oeuvre tray down there?
Yeah.
I was talking about that. My niece made that. Shit,
nice.
I'm not holding that very well. I can't do the opposite whole thing. That was a disaster. But yeah, they look like Better Homes and Gardens magazine spreads that they do at that Christmas party. But they gave me this. And I love this because I have to when I have events and stuff coming up, I have to have a hard copy of it. I gotta see it. It's not like somebody just put in my phone and to give me an alert that day that something's there. I have to mentally prepare days in advance for shit.
Right.
So I love these, and it takes, but when you get towards the end of December, you have to start planning stuff for next month, and I can't do that because I don't have the calendar yet because I don't get it to Christmas.
Right. And you don't just do it on your. You just don't do it on your phone, huh?
No, I am just lazy, dude. And does it give you like I said, I'd have to keep, I guess, pressing a button to look at all my stuff for the month. Where this thing's a physical thing, it's just always ever present in my room, and I like it. And it has room for me to personally write stuff in there.
Nice.
Anyway, so thank you, Candace.
Yeah, you are old school, but that's awesome. Chris, if you get good gifts, they're fun. It's just I got to the point with gifts, and it's why I quit doing gifts. Really, it was just trading money. I'll admit it, I'm lazy. And I'm not going to a store. I haven't been in a store in 7 years. So, the last thing I'm going to do is go to a store and shop.
Did you get any gifts at all?
Didn't. I told everybody not to. I told everybody not to.
See, I would never say such a thing.
I just was like, you know what? I mean, here's the deal with me. If I want it, I buy it. I don't wait. I don't wait. I'm not going to sit around and go, well, you know what? I really would like to have that new phone. But it's only 60 days until Christmas. Let me see if somebody gets it No, I'm buying it. I don't wait for nothing. So I'm a horrible gift to buy for anyway. Right. I just buy whatever the fuck I want whenever I want it. Mm-hmm. So
every day's Christmas to you.
Yeah,
personally.
It is pretty much because I just get what I want. And the other thing is I'm not a stuff guy. Other than my computers and my TVs, I'll keep my car. I don't drive it much, and I'll get 20 years out of my car. I'm already at 10 and it's still in immaculate shape because I don't feel the need that I got to go buy another car.
Well, that's where you and my lady differ. Okay.
Yeah. So she got a new one.
She doesn't do that many miles on her car either. And we both got our cars around the same time, 2018. Mm-hmm. And I have even more longer payments because I did a lease before that and I put too many miles and I was like, oh shit, I better give this thing back to them. And then I had an extra year I had to tie on to the new one. Next thing I know, I got a 6-year bullshit thing. And I put so many miles on using my car for side gigs and stuff like that. But that's not the case. Her car's in great shape. She only had 60,000 miles on it. It's got 4 years paid. She only had a year left. Nope. She decides to trade it in and just get a brand new deck.
She only had 60,000 miles on it?
Only had 60,000 miles.
And it wasn't a lease?
No, she owned
Why
it.
didn't she sell it? She would have got way more than she got in a trade.
Well, now you're asking rational questions, Chris, and that's just not allowed here in this household.
Because you give it in a trade, they give you $3,000 towards your next vehicle or whatever. It's like instead of like selling it for 22 or whatever.
Right. I mean, I intend to drive my car till right now mine has 105,000 miles on it, so almost twice as many. I just dropped like $2,000 doing brakes and tires and all this bullshit.
Right.
But anyways, yeah, we're different,
sure.
in that capacity. And also when it comes to Christmas, that shit would not fly. The whole let's just agree not to give presents. My sister and I have that agreement, aside from the nice calendar she gives, and I might bring a bottle of wine to her event, but we do have that agreement. But now in this household, no, that's not the case. There's an expected purchase. She went big for her kids. She bought her daughter like a new Mac laptop.
Well, for kids, if I had kids, like young kids, yeah, I would still, dude, when I was making $30,000 a year, I was still spending like $3,000 at Christmas. I was dropping a ton of money on Christmas presents then, but once my kids moved on and got jobs and bought houses and shit, I was like, whatever, I'm good if we get together and we have a nice dinner together and, tell old stories or whatever. And that's good enough.
When they're really still young. I mean, one thing to consider, a young person's brain isn't even fully formed till they're like 22 years old. So they are still kids, even though we send them off to battle or whatever the case before that, they're still kids. And that is probably the toughest age, like in college or you're a starving student, you haven't figured out how to apply your stuff in the real world. Yeah. So it is still time to help them for a while, but once they hit like 30, you're like, hey man.
Yeah,
we invited you for dinner, that's it.
Once you've bounced a couple of checks here and there, then it's like enough with the gift giving. The real world enough now.
Right.
But anyway, dude, let's transition off this a little bit. Let's talk about talk about horrors. I don't want to get into the whoring. I just want to get into this show. And it's not even a new show, but it's something I've avoided like the plague. The truth be told, the only reason I came across this, I was watching what was I watching? I think I was watching 1923, the new Yellowstone spinoff.
Okay, right.
The other night, and I fell asleep.
Tombstone? Are you saying
it's
Tombstone?
Yellowstone.
Okay.
It's best show on TV right now. It's with Kevin Costner. It's fucking fantastic. So I was watching that, but I fell asleep while I was watching it. And that's not an indictment on the show because the show is still excellent. It was just, I was, 22 hours deep into a day. So I just fell asleep. And I woke up and I was in the middle of a reality show called Basketball Wives. And these chicks on this show are ex-wives and ex-girlfriends of NBA players.
Ooh.
So it was like Shaquille O'Neal's ex-wife and Antoine Walker's ex-wife or ex-fiance or something. Then they had some chick on here that was a stripper, or I'm sorry, a dancer for the Miami Heat. And she had banged several players, and including both like Shaquille O'Neal and Antoine Walker. So I'm watching this show. And because I just sort of woke up and I'm like, what am I watching here? And they're talking about, at first they're just talking about, I'm Shaquille O'Neal's wife, and I'm half asleep watching. I'm like, all right, let me see what this is about. And then they just start catfighting with each other. They're all at this dinner and they're talking about how they fucked each other's husbands and shit. And I'm like,
oh, each other's like,
like, but they were married.
Or, the girl's like,
yeah. And it just was, that's what it was just straight cat fight. And I was like, who's watching this shit? Who is sitting around going, you know what? I got to watch tomorrow's episode of Basketball Wives. But then the other thing that hit me was where I get that these chicks, they're only doing this for money. But where in the fuck is the pride level? Why would you want to present yourself as somebody that's been a pass around piece of ass for basketball players?
Only money. I mean, advertising that, hey, they're available and they got all that guy's money, you know?
Yeah, I guess, but as a guy, and this is only me speaking, they would be the last person. I don't care how hot they are. I don't care how nice they are. The last one I would ever want to spend time with is somebody that has proven themselves to be a pass around for rich guys.
Well, not just rich guys, but, you know, tall, athletic basketball players.
Swedish guys
have super long dongs. I don't know. I've heard that.
Well, I don't even care about that. I don't care if they've been rimmed out to death. That doesn't faze me as much as the fact that they're just willing to throw it around for cash, which means as soon as I don't have enough cash, I'm going to be thrown away.
Right.
That would scare me to death. And this is what they're portraying. A, who wants to be that? And B, who wants to watch that? That was my big takeaway from this damn
They're
show.
Always gross human beings, whether it's, you know, the Kardashians or whatever. It's goofy, man.
Yeah, I don't. You know, the craziest thing was I'm watching this shit, and I'm like, all right, this has got to be like a spinoff of like Real Housewives of wherever, which there's like 10 of those, isn't there?
Right.
Isn't there like 10 of those?
Atlanta,
New York, LA. You know, there's Real Housewives of everywhere, and I'm just like, are we that shallow? Have we gotten to that point where the only thing we can do is watch not celebrities, but people that know celebrities and people that fucked celebrities, and that's where we're at on our level of entertainment now? Is like, we don't even care if they're celebrities anymore. I want to see somebody that sucked a celebrity's dick. I'll watch that for an hour. It's like,
now who wants to touch me?
Yeah. It's like, what the hell is going on in this world, man? We're just fucked.
They're star effers, if you will.
They really are. Know. They're just the worst. I'll say it. They're the worst star fuckers ever. And it's like, why? I can't figure out who's watching this stuff.
The only thing I could say after, you know, being in a relationship now is maybe it's the only kind of people that can hang with the goofy entertainment lifestyle or these type of people, because like a good woman wants nothing to do with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's probably true, but then why are regular people watching it is my question.
Oh, well, that is true. I didn't quite get that one right. Why are they doing it? I don't know. They just it's their lives are kind of boring sometimes, and it's exciting. That's all they got sometimes in their lives.
I mean, it just I don't know. I watched it for about 15 minutes and I was like, this is more than I can handle. I can't handle watching these fucking filth pigs on my screen.
Booty? How was the booty though? Was it
not as I'm gonna be honest, other than the stripper girl, the rest of them, Shaquille O'Neal has got to be worth $1 billion.
Probably.
Doesn't he? I mean, he owns Papa John's. He made a
shit
ton. Yeah, he bought Papa John's.
Did he buy that like after the dude got in trouble for his tweets or whatever?
Yeah, he did. After that guy, after Papa John got fired for dropping N-bombs, then Shaquille O'Neal swooped in and bought it when the stock was low.
Poetic justice. I like that.
Well, there you go. He swooped in and bought it.
Good for you, Shaq.
Him. You know, I mean, he bought on the cheap, but I mean, how many successful things has Shaq done? He's had movies, he's had rap albums, all of which, you know, he got overpaid to do.
What about I had Shaq video games and stuff back in the day.
He did everything. He's made at least $1 billion.
Sure.
A guy that's made $1 billion, that guy, and I find this all the time when you see celebrities, a guy that's had $1 billion, you should see their wife and just be like, wow, that's what $1 billion. Like, you know who I thought was like that at the time, and obviously it didn't work out well? Tiger Woods. that girl, that Elon, whatever her name was, Elaine or
Musk?
Elon, not Elon Musk, but that Elon, whatever her name was, I don't remember her name.
A lot of vagina?
Oh, a lot of good vagina, because she might have been the most beautiful girl in the world. And seeing her, I certainly understood it, because it's Tiger Woods, who was making an ass load of money. That guy. And then when it came out that he was banging, everyday waitresses and shit, it was like, what are you doing, bro? Just go home. Just go home and bang that luscious piece of ass you have. But instead, he just didn't. So, and that goes back to that whole thing of, no matter how great she is, there's someone tired of fucking her. It's that
I was thinking that. I'm glad you said it, because it's a very
it's true.
It's a terrible thing to say,
but it is the truth.
That's why you can help me in that.
Yeah, I can say dirty things. It's fine. But, if you notice, a lot of these rich dudes, when you see their chicks, not good. The Jeff Bezos wife, the one that he's divorcing.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Other than knowing that she took half of Jeff Bezos's money, you wouldn't even buy her a drink at a bar.
I'm pretty sure Bill Gates' wife is a dude.
Yeah, that dude is awful looking. Yeah, he's, and I'm with you. That what's her name? Melinda Gates. Melinda Gates.
I'm pretty sure that's a guy.
But she just wants to take over the world anyway. So fuck her. She didn't deserve good genes, because she's a fucking cunt. But
they're both the C word, sir.
Yeah, but that's another one. Shouldn't Bill Gates? I mean, how long was Bill Gates the richest man in the world?
Well, I mean, he's still a contender, but a long time.
But for at least 20 years, he was the guy.
Right.
And he should be, top of the food chain in it with his chicks.
He's goofy, though. I've heard that he's, just from some stuff that's come up in the divorce, where it was said that he was trying to hook up with, people at Microsoft and making inappropriate things, but he was always so goofy about it.
Yeah.
He's a nerd.
Could be. And maybe these guys all got top of the food chain at Epstein Island or whatever. Could have been that could have been where they got their that could have been where they fed their food chain.
I heard that Microsoft is gonna buy Netflix.
Ugh.
Now the propaganda is just gonna.
Well, then I'll be getting rid of Netflix at this point, because Microsoft stinks. I'm not that Apple's any better, but Microsoft, no thank. I do not want them involved in my entertainment. Honestly,
Agreed.
It really wouldn't affect me too much anymore. I barely watch any Netflix.